Hi, Dr. Kennedy. I decided to do my presentation on the abuse of ADHD medications in high school students and college students. We talked about this topic in class, and I found it very interesting, very important, and also very prevalent to my life and all of my peers around me. Especially in high school and now in my last 4 years at Denison, I've witnessed countless friends obtain ADHD medications such as Vyvanse, Adderall, Vocalin, and Ritalin from their friends in order to cram for their exams, study, do an essay, and although as a student I understand that the stress of college really, and high school too, really can impact one's decision-making process, I think it's very important that there needs to be education in order to warn these young adults about the mistake they're making by taking ADHD medications when it is not prescribed to them when they don't have ADHD. ADHD medications increase your heart rate, and they cause individuals to not sleep a lot of times. They make you stay up for long hours, and they elevate your heart rate, and this can cause sleep deprivation. A lot of students will stay up all night studying and doing essays while on these medications, and when used for a long period of time, it can cause a dependency on the medication. They can become dependent and think they need this medication in order to get anything done. Not only is sleep deprivation a symptom of it, not a symptom, but a result of using ADHD medication sometimes, it's also very, very harmful. A lot of students will stay up a lot, not get a lot of sleep. Some of them will not eat because some ADHD medications curb your appetite, and this can cause them to develop depression, anxiety, a lot of other psychological distressful symptoms. Dangerous also because there's certain drug interactions that could happen that they might not know about. When you do have ADHD and you go to your doctor and you're prescribed this medication, they are able to give you so much instructions, and you can understand how this would impact you based on if you took another drug, or if you were taking Adderall and you would mix it with another drug like alcohol. All of this plays into the role of what happens when you mix drugs and when you abuse drugs. The doctor would be able to warn them, but students and young adults who obtain these ADHD medications from their friends do not know the amount of the drug, how many milligrams it is. They could have developed a tolerance to this drug, so they may be taking more than the normal beginner would need to take. So when they borrow their friends' drugs or buy them or however they obtain it, they could be taking a more high dosage, which could lead to lots of complications and has a higher chance of interacting with other drugs. These sort of amphetamines have risk addicting factors. We know that from rat studies that there is potential risk of abuse. The certain ADHD medications like Adderall and Ritalin, they work on reinforcing neurotransmitters like dopamine that are involved in reward-seeking behavior, and this can lead to your tolerance building up, and therefore you wanting more and more, and always needing it. And this can be very dangerous for someone who does not have ADHD, who doesn't have that chemical imbalance in their brain, who doesn't need this kind of drug. And I think it is also important to note that we do not know a lot about ADHD medication drugs. We don't know how it could affect someone if they take it for 30 years, especially if they're not diagnosed with ADHD, if they don't need it. I think it also is an important thing to say that this could all be avoided by education. If I were to take a class like this in high school, I would have felt way more comfortable coming into college, knowing how drugs and alcohol impact my body, especially ADHD medications. Now, it is important because in this class, we learn all about drug interactions. We learn about tolerance. We learn about how the environment around you impacts the drugs you are taking, and how certain drugs can cause so many unwanted side effects. And I think it is important to teach high schoolers and young adults the pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics of certain drugs, so that we can prevent later on in life them struggling.